Hi, I'm Kent Rogers, and I'm here with MyCityChic.com, here with Jack Mackenroth.
Hi.
Who is one of the judges from tonight's show, Project Runway, and one of the contestants from Project Runway's Season 4. And I'd kind of like to pan around this glamorous little dressing room.
Fierce dressing room.
We've got an amazing setup.
Cold drinks.
He has cold drinks behind you.
Totally. For 55 cents. Total bargain.
Yes, it is.
Chips.
It's an automated bartender.
It's a full bar, old milk, dressing. Good times. Good times.
And Jack, I had a few questions about kind of the design side of your work because, you know, I'm a design student as well and I work in retail and I have a fascination with design. What, in your opinion, does it take to be a good designer or better yet, a successful designer?
Well, it depends on your definition of success. If you want to be like a lot of design students want to be like the next Marc Jacobs and have your own line and that's what you wish for. It takes a lot of money and a lot of work and you'll never sleep. My experience has been in really ready-to-wear, kind of mass market, and I made a lot of money. So that's another version of success. You know, it depends. Like, I was interviewing for this fairly big position in New York, and the woman's like, well, you know, it's mass market, but we pay really well. And she happened to be best friends with Michael Kors. And she's like, our orders are 500,000 units for one jacket. His are 5,000 units. So, like, you can see what the difference is. But I just think you need to know your customer, have a strong point of view, know your aesthetic.
One of the things that I found fascinating was that you are primarily a menswear designer, and that you basically kind of reinvented yourself for the show, and it translated beautifully. I mean, your clothing was fresh and feminine, and my favorite thing about it was you used print like crazy.
Right.
It was masterful. So tell me, how do you translate that? How did it work going from one to the other, and what are you going to do, you know, with the rest of your career?
Well, I think if you're a good designer and if you have a good eye and a good aesthetic, you can kind of design anything. You know, if someone asked me to design a wedding gown, I've never done one before, but I could probably do it. You just do the research, and I did prepare for the show, knowing that like let's have a bank of a few silhouettes that I'm comfortable with, and you know, I just think if you have a taste level that you're confident with, then you can kind of design anything. So I must admit a few times I was winging it, like, oh, you know, crap, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I tried to look pretty doing it and pretend I knew what I was doing, so.
Did the designers on Project Runway get away with murder because they were doing women's wear? Because I know that menswear has to be impeccable. It has to be really amazingly tailored. And women's wear, you can kind of be tricky and make it designery. Yeah, no, I think as we got closer to our deadline, it became more and more glue guns coming out and less finished seams and pieces like, oh, this one's going to be sleeveless. Like, you make those decisions in a hot minute at the end. So, but yeah, I think there is the big deal. That's why we all floundered. And there were a few meltdowns.
Yeah, on the menswear challenge, it was kind of a mess. Like, a lot of people were freaking out.
That was really the first. That was jumping the shark in the show's
Well,
history.
And they'll never do it again. They said flat out. They're like, that was an abomination.
And that was really the first time, because I've seen all 4 seasons, and that was the first time where there was really a meltdown like that before.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised because people gave me, you know, they never really gave me credit for like, oh, you're not a women's designer, but you're doing fine doing women's. But everyone's excuse was like, I don't do men's. I'm like, well, you know, if you know fashion design, you should sort of be able to figure out the construction, but people were really having meltdowns, so I was a little bit surprised about that. So you essentially left Seattle to pursue your career elsewhere. If you had stayed in Seattle, what would your life look like now? Like, how would you adapt to thrive in the environment? Well, I'd probably go crazy because my mom lives here. No, I love my mom.
I feel that.
I love my mom, but I just like to live kind of far away. I think I would have probably been an artist. I mean, I actually graduated from Berkeley in fine arts, and then I moved to. I'd always sort of done fashion design as like a hobby, but I didn't really know it could be a career until I moved to New York. And once I got into Parsons, that was the end of that. So
sweet. You were in Parsons with was Tim Gunn the chair at the time?
He was assistant.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I got to meet him at an event here in Seattle, and I was so thrilled that he wasn't just another talking head.
No,
you got to work with him every day.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, you know, there's two sides of Tim. There's the show, when we're filming the show, which is only 4.5 weeks for the whole duration.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't have a single day off. It's like that. So he's basically really doing a job, and he's trying to be objective. So he doesn't really warm up to you because he just comes and he's looking at your designs and giving us feedback. And when he meets with us, a 5-minute segment will actually air, maybe a snippet, but he'll talk to us for like a half an hour. But it's very objective. It's very like, I'm not understanding this. I don't think this looks good. But then subsequently, after the show's been over, he's really sweet and genuine and a really nice guy.
Fantastic. My last little piece of Jack ephemera is I thoroughly enjoyed your little flash dance video when you're on the subway and you're doing a little running and whipping your head back and throwing water on yourself. It was amazing.
Thank you.
It was just thoroughly the funniest thing.
Thank you. I'm very proud of that.
Yes.
And I did it on a Sunday morning, and like I just got on the subway. I'm like, okay, we're doing this in one take because I'm not doing this again. And then in New York subway riders, it's so funny because a couple of them like looked up from their newspapers and were like, freak, and then like just kept, no one even blinked, and I'm dancing around in like full headband with leg warmers,
and
like,
you had the shoulder across, the sweater across the shoulders.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
your interview.
My pleasure.